the the NFL futures market, people that are betting over unders on wins and stuff like that already. It's crazy to predict win totals and expectations already. But people are out there doing it, and I've seen the Eagles' projections for next year. So we're going to talk about it and where we feel confidence level with that number and where the Eagles sit right now. 10.5 wins, that is. Ohtani spoke yesterday. The hip tackle is officially banned. We're going to talk about that. Wes Watkins gone. Phillies out of money. And I think the Sixers lost last night. I don't care. Do you? Trending in the AM, taking all your thoughts and opinions on all things live in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We are live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You know the drill. Hit those like, share, subscribe, retweet buttons wherever you are watching. Hit those buttons to help get that algorithm up and help get this show in front of as many eyes as possible. The number one morning show in Philadelphia, especially on YouTube. I know often duplicated, but never the standard that I set here is never met. It's often duplicated, but it's never met. We got lots going on today. Lots that we got to talk about. Phillies, are they really out of money? Maybe. I don't think so. But there's that going on. We are now 3 days away from opening day, maybe. Wes Watkins will definitely not be back in Philly. Cheer. Ohtani spoke and said nothing. The hip tackle is officially banned, and I don't stand for it. What was the other thing? We got a bunch of other things. The Sixers lost. But 10.5 wins, over or under for the Philadelphia Eagles. That is where we're going to start today. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, at Bearded Knowledge, all social media platforms. Check me out. If you can find me on it, that is how you do it. And we are going to have a fun day today, an entertaining day. But I do want to say now, and I'll probably bring it up like 3 or 4 more times, that we have a lot of fun talking sports on this show. We have a lot of fun busting stones and debating topics and having fun. But last night there was a tragedy in Baltimore, and it just shocked me. And I just wanted to put out the positive vibes and thoughts to the families affected of that cargo ship hitting the Key Bridge and literally sinking an entire bridge into the river. And there's, different reports of how many cars and bodies went into the river. They've pulled people out. Maybe they're still looking for some. I saw that first thing I did this morning when I woke up, and it's just shocking. There's video of it. It's sad. It's scary. Every anxious feeling I've ever had going over a bridge lived out live on my screen this morning when I was watching it. Just my positive vibes, thoughts, prayers, whatever you do about that, man. I mean, if you haven't seen the video of the bridge, the Key Bridge, collapsing, don't do it if you've got a weak stomach, because, yeah, thank goodness it not to lessen whatever loss we've had in that tragedy. At least it happened in like the 3:00 a.m. area, time frame wise, and not during rush hour when there's thousands of cars passing over it every minute. Yeah. So anyway, thoughts with them. I'll bring it up a few times because my mind, I was all prepared for today's show. Like after I saw that this morning, I can't comprehend, talking for fun and talking sports, but we're going to try to. I am here. You can't see me. You say that every day, but I can. We want voiceover. Dude, you mentioned a voiceover yesterday. Like, give me time, okay? Can't happen instantly. The beard is coming back in nicely already. You think it looks better already? Yeah, just that little bit fills in some of the gray spots that you thought were bald spots, but yeah, the little thicker it gets, man. Live, live, live. So sponsors, yeah, stop. We'll get there. We'll get there. You are not a bot. You are a real person. Exactly. Believe we have a 12-win floor and a 15-win ceiling. I love the confidence, and this is something I want to talk about. There are a lot of people because the futures are out, and some of the major media markets are talking about them. The Eagles are at 10.5 wins projected for 2024, plus 110 if you bet the over, minus one something if you bet the under. I personally cannot bet this number, but you can look at the number and see where we sit. People that are already jumping on betting that over 10.5 number, I just don't think it's a smart bet to make. Not because I don't think they can win Santa 12 games next year. It's because we don't know the schedule. We don't know who gets drafted at 22. We don't know whether Justin Simmons is going to be here. We don't know what Kellen Moore's offense is. You can't bet it and be 100% confident this early. And I think it's crazy. Now, does this team have a 12-win floor? That's bold, Santa. I mean, it's going to be a tough schedule, not as tough as last year, but you can't say there's a 15-win ceiling and only a 12-win floor when we don't know how this schedule's going to line. I thought that last year was going to be a 12-win team, 13-win team, and we saw how that played out. So you got to be a little bit. I don't want to say a 12-win floor, but if you want to say a 9 or 10-win floor, and the floor is making a wild card, and the ceiling is winning the division, now you're talking my language. Saying wild card is the floor, division is the ceiling. That's how you get on the same page as me. What is up, Little G? Good morning. Eagles pay Haason. Let's give Little G a happy birthday, and let's give Little G what he wants, and that is Haason Reddick, extended in Philadelphia. Let's hope Howie Roseman doesn't trade him today on your birthday, my man. What's the over-under for days in prison before Titty is? I thought that was going to be a story I was going to mention, but this bridge collapse in Baltimore, in the media, in the news, the non-sports news world has got my attention much more than the Diddy situation. But yeah, I don't know much about the Diddy situation, but it seems like he might be in a little bit of trouble. From what I heard, he's in Antigua right now. Who names themselves? Yeah, who gives themselves multiple? I mean, you gave yourself a nickname. Time for UFL football, TMC. I am the beard. We all name ourselves something stupid. Yes, exactly. Happy birthday to Little G. That raised flags 24 years ago on Regis and Kathy. What? The floor is 8. I don't know if it's 8. I don't know if it's that low. But it could be. We cannot predict a win-loss record for the Eagles at this time. We just can't. You can predict the floor of a wild card berth or a floor of just missing out on the playoffs, which is what 8 wins would do, Davey. You could predict a ceiling of a division crown, a ceiling of a conference. You can do those things. But you can't say 8, 10, 12, 15. You can't physically put numbers on it until the team is complete. There are still holes on this team. Still a draft. Outside of week 1 in Brazil, we don't know when we play who. We know who we play. Don't know in what order. In what games are short weeks and not. And we don't know who's going to be Thursday night football. We don't know who's going to be Monday night football. We don't know what the opponents are coming off of. Are they coming off of short weeks? Nobody can say what the floor or ceiling is, win-loss total, until the complete picture of the offseason is finished. And I hate that so many people, there's a lot of gambling sites out there, and I love some of them. I do. But they're urging bettors to bet one way or another on every team. There's a few teams that have higher win projections than the Eagles. Not many. But these betting experts pushing one. How? Why? Another team could have a great rest of the offseason. There could be a big trade that changes things. You just don't know right now. And you can't make me as a betting degenerate, not expert, degenerate, and my DraftKings portfolio shows I'm a degenerate, you can't make a logical bet without all the information in front of you. The information isn't complete on any NFL team. I'm looking at the odds for wins. I mean, I can pull up any team, Houston 9.5 over under, Giants 6.5 over under, Pittsburgh 8.5, Dallas at 10.5 like us, Miami 10.5, Cincinnati 10.5, Green Bay 10.5. A lot of teams at 10.5. The Chiefs at 11.5. I think the Ravens are as well. I think there's 2 or 3 teams at 11.5. The 49ers, yeah, and the Ravens. They're the other 2 teams. The Cardinals, there's some people telling you the Cardinals are going to make the playoffs. DraftKings has them at 6.5 wins. Washington at 7.5. I don't even know if they know who their quarterback is. I mean, like how you can realistically, Bears at 8.5 wins. Are we kidding me with that? I might actually go smash the under on that without all the information. What up, G? Yeah, happy birthday. Fire or free. Yeah, I don't even know who that is off the top of my head. Diddy waiting for the Ford Bronco to pick him up. Oh my god. Okay, beard is fine, but anyone named Diddy. Yeah, exactly. Um, let's not get into those serious conversations about Diddy and all that other stuff. No such thing as perfect information, big guy. There's not perfect information. There's no such thing. Did I use the word perfect information? Because if I did, that would be a misstep. But as much information as possible, and we don't have that. We will not have enough information to properly grade the offseason or this Eagles team going into the season till we see the draft, till we see the schedule, till we see if do they add Justin Simmons, do they trade James Bradbury, do they trade Haason Reddick? Like, what else is going to happen? There's going to be a lot more moves than happen between now and just the draft. Let alone, there might be something that happens this week at the owners' meeting. I think Nick Sirianni is speaking right now. Good morning, Duck. How you doing this morning? Party people, I don't know about that. I don't know if we're partying at 8:11, 8:12, 8:13 in the morning. I say 8 as the floor because I think we might be that bad next season. All right, Davey, I'll engage this. Why do you think they're going to fall that far? They were an 11-win team last year that probably should have been higher. They've improved in certain positions, running back, defensive end maybe, linebacker. They've gotten better. They've got fresh coaches, so we've eliminated the problems in the coaching ranks. I want to know why you say that they might be that bad next season. I'm really curious because I don't think it's, like a hot take you saying that's their floor. Like if you said they were going to win 4 games, that was their floor. Okay. But they had the guy that through 10 weeks last year was the favorite to win the MVP. Yeah, he fell off for the last 6, 7 weeks, but we still got a 2-time almost MVP. We got a stud team. I don't think 8 is a reasonable number personally, but I want to know why. Well, you go on to say Sirianni is still here. That's all I need to know. So it's a Nick Sirianni issue for Dave. Is Nick Sirianni really what holds us back, or could hold us back, or will hold us back? Interesting. I think the 10.5 number is actually a pretty good, solid, realistic number to put out there as a better or as a betting platform. Because the Eagles super fans that think that predict 15-1 or 15-2 or undefeated and Super Bowl champions every year, they're going to love that. They're going to see plus money. They're going to dance all over it. You know that there's going to be the negative Nancy's or the anti-Eagles fans that are going to bet that under. No problem. But 10.5 is a really smart number because realistically speaking, right now, they're a 9, 10, or 11 win team. Or 10 and 11 win team. But you can just say they're a 10 or 11 win team at this point, in my opinion. So it does put a really interesting number, but I would never bet it. Like the number is fun to discuss at this point where they're at, what they can do to get them over that 10.5. What has to go wrong the rest of this offseason for them to be under that 10.5. But anybody that wants to bet it right now and lock that in, that's just not good. I don't think you can. But like maybe you can like parlay something. You take like the Eagles to get over 10, and then you take can you parlay them as winning the Super Bowl? You can't even parlay those things. That would be if you could find a sports book that would allow you to parlay the win total with a division crown or a Super Bowl champion or a conference title. Now that's where you could get into betting now into futures. But it's far too soon to just make straight up futures bets on wins and losses for any team. Honestly, realistically, other than that Bears at 8.5, it's too soon to make that conversation. Passing over the good mornings and the happy birthdays, it is party time. That is right. I think the floor is 10, but I think we win at around 14. That's uber confident, Duck. And, I'm not afraid to make a huge, bold win prediction. 2 years ago, I predicted 15 wins. Last year, I was pretty spot on until the last 2 weeks of the season. I think I missed like 2 games in the first 15 weeks with my predictions. But at this point, I can't do it. What do we do at 22? Are we trading to here's a scenario where I can't predict the Eagles win total yet. Right now, if they just stay at 22 and draft, say, a Murphy, a defensive tackle, or a McKinsky, the cornerback, or DeJean, the safety, or whoever at 22, whatever. Just say they do that. That makes them better, but it moves the needle a little. But what if they take 22 and package it with stuff and trade for Patrick Surtain? Now, all of a sudden, my 10 or 11 win prediction might go up to 12 or 13. So I can't make a bet. I can't make an official prediction. I can say where I feel right now. I'm not going to predict 14 wins yet until I see the complete picture. I don't even want to think that we're a 14 win team yet. I think saying they're a 10 or 11 win team with the upside of 13 or 14 and the downside of 8 or 9, depending how the next 4, 6, 8 weeks go. There's a lot of that's got to be playing into it. With the penalties for the hip drop now, Saquon, let me tell you something. I want to talk about this hip drop tackle. I watched the video. I don't know if anybody else did. Somebody leaked or shared the video. I don't know if it was purposely shared or not, of the NFL, explaining to the owners and GMs and stuff about what the hip tackle banning is. And here's the problem with the hip tackle ban. I get the protection of the player's knees and legs that you're trying to do, Tim, with the hip tackle. The hip drop, it's so hard to say. Hip drop tackle. The problem is, if there was half the tackles in that video they presented with what they're trying to eliminate, the tackler hit the ball carrier high, and then the ball carrier tried to fight off the tackle, and the ball carrier's momentum made the tackler lose a grip and fall down. It wasn't like they were like if you're literally wrapping up at the hips and purposely pulling them down, I get that. But how many times does somebody grab you up high and the runner keeps running? Saquon Barkley, thunder thighs. Okay? He is going to get so many penalties called against the opposing defenses because he doesn't go down. And their momentum and gravity is going to pull the defender down to the hips and then down on their legs as he drags them. Are you supposed to hit the ball carrier as a tackler, and then let go if they don't go down because you might get a 15-yard penalty on? Like, I don't understand how you police this and do it in a way that's fair to the tackler. It's bothering me. Like, it bothered me to ban it, and I thought that this would be a problem. But then after watching that video that released yesterday, it's going to be one of the worst mistakes that they banned in football. It really is, and I just don't know how it's going to happen. We haven't brought another player besides Jalen Carter, Philly, since Sue in 22. That's been worth a damn. Howie has been useless. I'm sorry, what? We haven't brought another player besides Jalen Carter to Philly. I don't understand what you're saying here. We've brought lots of players to Philly here. The draft has been solid the last few years. I mean, A.J. Brown's been brought here. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson brought back. Bryce Huff was just I don't get Saquon Barkley has just been brought in here. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm missing the point of what you're saying there. Eagles trade back from 22 unless someone crazy slips. Tim, I've been running mock drafts every day on a side, and post them on Twitter, and I get a lot of opportunities to trade back, and I take them because you get so much value. I literally just ran one before the show that I'm going to post on Twitter later, and I was at the 22. I traded back to 26 because Tampa offered me their first round pick for next year to trade back 4 spots, and I was still able to get Byron Murphy, defensive tackle, at 26 in that mock draft. So I agree. Most likely they trade back. They're either going to trade that pick for an established player, Patrick Surtain. JC Horn, I see some people talking about. No, I want Patrick. If you're going to do it, go all in. But most likely they trade it for a player or they trade back. That is my opinion now after a week of doing mock drafts every single day and seeing how the boards fall. But I agree. Wager 550 said, we know Daniel Jones is not why. I don't care about the Giants. Come on, man. Make an official prediction. It's not like we'll remember. Yeah, my ass. You guys hold every little Aqua Bowman detail against me for life. And I hope it follows me around for the rest of my life, wherever I am, whichever studio I'm in, whatever sponsor I don't have of the no sponsor outlet. I hope you hold me accountable forever. Okay? They went on to say Saquon Barkley is done. They begged him to stay. Yeah, that. Yeah. Okay. The hip drop ban. Where are my glasses? No wonder I can't read the screen. I forgot to put my glasses. The hip drop ban is good for us because our players couldn't tackle a keys or with. Yeah, no, that's true. That is true. That's good because someone like Saquon Barkley is hard to tackle. It's a stupid move by the NFL. They're kind of smeared. I got to clean them. It's a stupid move by the NFL. They're basically telling the defense, you can't try to tackle. It's the NFL being stupid. Yeah, I just don't get it. It's going to take a minute now for my eyes to readjust with the glasses. There's no way to safely tackle a player. It's a violent sport. And I'm all for making it safer. Better padding, better helmets, and whatnot. But knee injuries are going to happen. Ankle injuries are going to happen. Leg injuries are going to happen. So basically, after you make contact, if the ball carrier does not go down immediately, you've got to let go. Because momentum is going to carry you down. Gravity pulls you down. Ball carriers are going to try to shake off defenders. I don't understand how a defender is going to tackle anymore. I don't. It's a dumb rule. Not like the horse collar, which is pretty obvious. Yeah, there's a big difference between a horse collar tackle and a hip drop tackle. Okay? Major difference. You literally have to grab on and pull somebody down. Half of the hip drop tackles that happen aren't because they're trying to wrap up at the hips and pull them down. They're trying to hit them. And momentum forces them into it. I don't understand. I trade back a ton on them to get multiple ticks. Love the PFF mock draft site. Is that the one that charges you if you want to go past the third round? Because I'm on the Pro Football Network one is the one I use, Tim, because it's the only one that I found that's 7 rounds for free. I'm not paying for a mock draft site to get that information. That's just not me. I don't understand why the hip drop tackle has been banned because I remember being taught this. Yeah, it's called wrapping up and not letting go. And it's going to affect positively and negatively, depending on which side of the coin you look at, so many games in the NFL this year. It's a judgment call by the refs, which is not good. Anything that's judgment call related, not good. It's going to be a judgment whether it was meant or not. It's going to be a hard tackle, or a guy, it's going to be Saquon Barkley shaking free of somebody on, say, the 49ers, and a foul is called because the 49er defender falls on Saquon Barkley. We're going to win the playoff game. 49ers fans are going to bitch and moan that the refs stole the game from them. That you're going to hear more fans complaining about referees now than ever before because of it. Hip drop, another way to not rig. Well, yeah, or rig. I knew we were missing something. The Fidel Castro look. Yeah. I'm having a lot of trouble all of a sudden adjusting to them on though. My eyes are all like funky right now. 75% chance Hurts is still playing hurt. And man, if Kenny gets in front of this, he might. What? What? What are you doing, Travis? Are you saying you want Kenny Pickett out there? This has ruined my day. Straight up ruined my day. NFL, no fun league. They are making the sport I love soft as hell. Look, there's a difference between making it soft and a difference of making it safer and soft. They might be making it softer in this scenario. They're not. They might be making it safer, but they're making it less football. Is that the right way to say it, Nitro? Like, football is a violent sport. I get that. You still can protect the players so we don't have people with CTE down the line. But they know when they sign up that it's a violent sport. Unless you're a quarterback and you know you're going to get protected nonstop. But you can't, like, literally, you literally can, like, put your shoulder into someone's. I don't even know if you can do that. Because you try to put your shoulder into somebody and they lower their head, you get called for a person. Like, you can't do anything as a defender anymore and not risk getting a penalty. Yeah, free mock draft sites are so much better than paid mock draft sites. So, sorry, Pro Football Network is the one I use. Yeah, PFF, I think, is the one that wants you to pay for it. And no offense to PFF, they did that last year. Before last year, I always liked the PFF site better. I like the layout and structure of it. The Pro Football one freezes on me all the time. But I'm not paying PFF to run mock drafts on a show for like 3 weeks or something like that. And that's it. Not happening. Even know who, yeah. So, yeah, whatever. Forget about me. If I wanted to watch, uh, yeah, well, baseball is starting in 3 days for the Phillies. Seems like Jordan Montgomery might not be a Philly this week. Seems like John Middleton might be out of money, according to Dave Dabrowski. I think that's a ploy to maybe get somebody like Tyler Montgomery a little cheaper. You're in the middle of negotiating contracts with people. I think it's just a way to say that. I don't think they're out of money or not trying to go over the threshold, the third luxury tax threshold, which is massive. But yes, since you bring up baseball, K1, I will mention that soft sport that I love so much, which makes me think of something for tonight's Fairway to Heaven, which I got to write down here. Baseball made me think of something golf related, so I had to write an extra thing in my notes right there for tonight's Fairway to Heaven, 6 p.m. right here on this channel. Jason and I will be talking the Texas Children Houston Open or whatever it is. Ben Simmons put up 8 points last Nets game. Yeah, what was that, like 6 months ago? Now there's a comment that I can get behind. Let's bash Ben Simmons this morning. Attention all. When I became a mod here, there will be absolutely zero hurt slander. You're going to become a mod on my show? You think I'm going to let you do that? We disagree far too. You're the one. I don't like negativity. But then your previous comment was sort of kind of negative. Whatever. I'm just saying. But I love you, Nitro. I appreciate you. The Eagles were the trial team for the no hip drop tackle. Scoring was up when deployed by them. It is interesting. And we'll get back to the 10.5 win total projections in a few minutes. Thanks, Tim, for changing the subject to this. Something that really bothered me. Is banning the hip drop tackle really, deep down, if you get into the top 2% of the people that make the real decisions in the NFL, the ones that make the money, Roger Goodell and a few select others, is this to protect players' safety? Or is this just another way to increase offense? More points equals more views equal more dollars equal bigger. It means more bigger TV contracts, more commercials, more advertisers. Is this hip drop tackle really to protect players, or is it to make more money? Because what's the saying? Sex sells, offense sells in sports. Baseball, They've done everything to make it better for the offensive player, not the pitcher. Basketball, better for offense. Hockey, probably. K1, have they done a lot of things to increase offense in the NHL? Golf, they've done things to make courses easier because they want to have more birdies. Every sport wants more offense because that's what sells to the casual fan. They don't care about the diehard fans because the diehard fans will watch always. The casual fans want Taylor Swift pictures on the screen and more offense. And band hip drop tackle is going to create more touchdowns. Hurts is Teflon around these parts. Look, I love Jalen Hurts. I'm not criticizing him. Yeah, you're not my mom. Did you want a job or something? I have an unpaid internship job if you want. You can be my show intern. I can't pay you though. When I become mod, we will count. No Kenny Gain. Yeah, you all think I'm going to make you guys mods. You guys are staying in the chat and not working with me whatsoever. Jordan Davis, Middle Earth 2. Yeah, stop. That's because he said that. Yeah, something like that. Stop. Milton and Davis working out. Who will get first team reps this year? I think Milton Williams will have more snaps than Jordan Davis. I do expect Jordan Davis's snap total to go up as long as he doesn't try to chase down Josh Allen from behind, which was the turning point. It was the right before chasing down Josh Allen against Buffalo was the top of the arc. His season arc, his character arc for the year. That was the peak of it, and then he started to fall down last year. Still a hell of a play. But I expect Davis. He came into camp healthy last year. He just didn't maintain it. He'll come in shape even better this year and hopefully learn to maintain it better. Milton Williams, I expect big things from him. I expect an actual extension for him to be coming up pretty soon. Kenny Gainwell not making the 53-man roster. Oh, my God. I doubt that. I doubt he doesn't make the team. Phil skipped my thoughts on wrap-up. That was no cap. I skip your thoughts all the time because I can't read half your comments. I'm really having trouble adjusting to the glasses today. I don't know why. Pound the like button to make sure the chat is mod free. Exactly. If I had a mod, they could be sharing it out into like a million Facebook groups and stuff like that for me right now, which I cannot do mid-show. We want more Bradley Cooper sightings. I think Taylor Swift sightings are greater than Bradley Cooper for sure. Week 11 was the Eagles' peak character arc. It really was. We were at the height of it all right there, week 11. Then it was, boom, it was building up, boom. Then the Thanos snap happened, and the arc started to fall down instantly. Sometimes you are too negative and need to be pulled back. We just can't let you say crazy stuff. Yo, I don't say crazy stuff for clicks, man. I think out of all the people all over Twitter that do shows, and there's shows in every city, there's hundreds of them. And I appreciate you choosing Trending in the AM, the best morning show. Often tried to often copied, but never duplicated. I try to stay solid. I try to stay away from too much clickbait. I see one of my competitors, the Cuz, is coming back and going to be doing a morning show starting at 9 a.m. They don't know what they're talking about. Trying to go head to head with me from in the 9 o'clock hour. Dude, their ratings for the 9 o'clock hour will be terrible. Hey, I won't lie. I shot my shot. I tried to get a job with them, but it is what it is. Marshawn sleeps with the fishes. Is that the case? Phil was gonna say stupid. I hate the word stupid. I try not to say stupid if not possible. Just check the one on wrap-ups and comment, please. Dude, you want me to go through 60 comments to find one comment you made? Mozzie mid tackle 2. For you. I see a Biden laptop. I saw this and I put it up on the screen. Another way to rig. I thought you were getting towards your stuff about the script and stuff, and I didn't feel like covering that. I put it up on the screen. Too serious to be a mod. K1? I don't know. I think Eric would be my mod if I had one. My man, welcome back. Hope you had a good. Don't you take like a vacation like every other week? It must be nice. Can you be like Wooder, like Bruce Lee? I like that. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Phenomenal movie. Like, very inaccurate, but phenomenal movie. Yes, that is right. Talks to the gatekeeper. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't check in from vacation, but, I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide, I will. I'll give it. I'll give it. So we've already touched on a bunch of topics. I want to get back to the 10.5 win total. And we'll keep talking about this hip drop and how bad and stupid and how influential. I know I just said that. We need a non-biased mod. Honestly, that's me. I'm the unbiased mod of my own show. I really, really don't know why I didn't think of this before. That it's all about just that the tackle is not to protect the player's safety, but to create more offense. I mean, it makes sense to protect players and whatnot, and I like that. But man, I have no clue how like if I had a kid and they wanted to play football, I'd be like, pick up a football, learn to throw it, learn how to play wide receiver, learn how to play running back, offensive line, tight end. I wouldn't want a kid playing tackle defense because it'd be almost impossible to succeed. I don't know how they're going to do it. How many quarterback sacks are hip drop tackles? Like it's one thing when a running back tries to shake a tackler off, or a wide receiver is trying to break free on a crossing route. One thing there, but half the times when you sack a quarter, you can't hit a quarterback high. You can't hit them below the knees. Now you can't. You can only hit a quarterback in their sternum, and that's it. And if you do that too hard, you'll get flagged for putting too much weight on the quarterback. Man, I don't know how the NFL is going to create a proper technique for tackling. 90% of the time, tacklers, they use their bodies as projectiles and don't wrap up. That seems much more dangerous. You would think wrapping up would be the safe way to do it. Yeah, a few select people are going to fall on the legs of the guys they're trying to break away. If anything, tell our offensive players they can't try to break. Let the tackler tackle. You can't break away. Once you're hit, momentum stops. You're done. Wrapping up is the safety. You would think so. Why are we trying to find me a mod? I don't understand this. You guys not like me? I'm non-biased. Fly, Eagles, fly. Well, that's a very biased statement. That you're not biased and go Eagles. I nominate Mitchie Poo. Why? So he could just put Tobias Harris slander and that's it up on the screen on a regular basis. I train my kid to perfect I mean, seriously though. That's basically what half of an almost sack is. Some of those almost sacks, if they became sacks, would have been hip drop sacks. They banned the hip drop tackle. Did they ban the hip drop sack? Is there a difference? No, I don't know. I mean, most hip drop, those almost sacks, if Haason Reddick or Josh Sweat holds on longer, they're personal fouls now in 2024. When is Liam going to be here in the morning? I don't know. No clue. Hit drop rule has removed sacks from the game. You can't go low. If you're too high, it's a penalty. Now dragging them down is a penalty. Tim, I literally didn't see this comment, and I just brought sacks up. Like, we're on the same page here. There is literally, like, you just invested how much money in Bryce Huff and more on the defensive line. Like, do you even want to invest? Trade away Haason Reddick then. Get whatever you can. Because you're gonna have to do. Like, you're not gonna have an opportunity or a way to sack a quarterback anymore. You always see evolutions in positions of importance, like linebackers coming back, defensive tackles coming back, running backs coming back, because there's a shift in the game. You're going to see a shift with all these rule changes that defensive ends aren't going to be as valuable as before. The elite of the elite, sure. But it's crazy. It really is. And I don't know where it's going. Liam is researching all the guys we aren't going to draft. I haven't watched any of his draft streams lately. I know he's back doing prospect and tape review on certain people. I haven't watched them. I don't get into the college game too much. Liam found best linebacker ever, really? I'm having a lot of problems with these glasses today. It's really hurting my eye. I might rather not see this morning. Not sure why it's hurting me here. I heard yeah, Mitchy Poo. It's like just lingering in the background, doing some work. Then hears me say Mitch. Like there's only one Mitch that watches this show. I mean, there might be a few others, Mitch. They just might not comment. Just saying. Howie going to sign Andre Tillard back? Oh my god! I actually didn't like losing him last year, but he did have a good season in Tennessee, so that would be a mistake. Watching 2021 NFL Draft, why? Mitchy Poo came out like the candy. If I say Tobias Harris's name or Mitchy Poo, pop, he's just out. Like, yeah, I'm here, just so you know. Jets select Zach Wilson at 2 will be great. Yeah. Trey Lance, future Hall of Famer. Oh, man, Mitchy Poo is the hookup. Is it? Holla if you hear me. Is that what you're trying to say? Raiders select Jamarcus Russell. I wonder when he supplants Tom Brady as the best quarterback. Yeah. Yeah. That he was awful, Jamarcus Russell. I forget why. I made a tweet last week, and I don't remember what the tweet was, but I just remember saying Jamarcus Russell and Ryan Leaf in the same tweet. And I'm thinking, who was the bigger bust, Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell? One was 1 overall, one was 2 overall. 2 different draft classes, obviously, different teams, etc. But man, I don't know. Would those 2 draft busts outweigh the Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields draft bust? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Other Eagles news. I will throw out there one other Eagles thing that we could talk about, along with the hip drop tackle, along with the 10.5 win total projection over or under. No longer gone are the days of us crying about Quez Watkins. He is now officially a Pittsburgh Steeler. We don't have to cry about Quez anymore. Now it means I know we've got a couple Paris Campbell and Devontae Parker under contract. That means we really need a third wide receiver. Neither of those 2 guys are really wide receiver 3. They're not good enough anymore. Or ever. But the Quez era is officially gone. Over. Hasta Viego or whatever. I don't know. I'm having trouble today. I don't know. I can't speak. My head hurts from these glasses. I'm off today. I got so much going on. On a side note, how the hell do people buy a house if you've got a normie job? If you got a 9-to-5 job and you're in an office at a cubicle all day doing work, how do you buy a house? I told you guys yesterday, we bought a house finally. So we started all the mortgage paperwork yesterday. There is so much freaking paperwork. It's all like electronic now. But seriously, luckily around the pizza shop, we got the before the lunch rush, in between the lunch dinner rush and stuff like that. But we can accomplish things. I can work double time while the wife fills something out. Then she can go work and I can go double. Like we have a flexible job in a business that we own. Well, man, how do normal people do it? Like, I don't understand. Like, there is a lot of paperwork to go through and read and sign. And if you're sitting at a desk from 9 to 5, you got a 30-minute, 1-hour lunch break. You ain't getting all that shit done in an hour. Dude, yesterday was a lot of reading and a lot of signing. Man, more to do today, probably. Yeah, exactly. Herbert. Yeah, well, you know my opinion on Justin Herbert. Leaf was taken over Peyton. That's why he's forever etched as the Rushmore of bust. I think Leaf is. It's hard for me to say Leaf is the biggest bust or the most overrated bust because Leaf had the talent. Leaf didn't have it up here, and he couldn't control his demons. And I really think Leaf's demons, although they weren't they really didn't become big picture demons till after his career was over. I think he was battling a lot of demons during his playing days as well. And I really feel for him because sometimes demons overtake your career. So I kind of feel like that takes him off the Mount Rushmore bus. He's made his mistakes. He's paid the price for it. He's rehabbed his image and his person and his life. Jamarcus Russell just didn't care about football. Thoughts from the draft. That Jalen regular selection is going to make people forget Justin Jefferson. Dude, I wanted Justin Jefferson so bad in that draft. And everybody kept telling me, well, he's only a slot guy. He can't play outside. I'm like, that was about the end of my watching of college football regularly. I was still a big college football fan then. And I was just like, I want this guy on the Eagles. Man, that's going to save everything. I hate being right sometimes. Quez, the new Antonio Brown. The other one, ESPN, I don't know if it was ESPN or Fox or NFL Network, some major network, they gave such a great positive comment on the signing, like the explosive or the oft explosive. I forget what adjective they used, but making out like Quez is this big addition to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, really? I'm like, tell me you don't know anything about football by not saying it. Like, seriously. Quez is not anything. Give me Quez Watkins over Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris had a great game over the weekend against the Clippers. And then goes and throws a dud out the window against Sacramento last night. I hope Quez does well. I think he just needs a new team. Yeah. Look, we're making Quez Watkins jokes. I get it. I'm not gonna crush the guy. I'm not gonna bully the guy. I'm glad he's gone. And maybe in a less pressure city like Pittsburgh, in a place where you've got a veteran quarterback like Russell Wilson, maybe it's a good place for him. There's not going to be any pressure on him. So, good for him. Hire a realtor. I do have a realtor and a mortgage guy. You know, am I supposed to let them sign for me? Like, I got to read the mortgage paperwork. So, Phil took off the glasses. He needs the new $500 shirt so we could call him the final boss. Stop. Overrated who you're getting at there. Massively overrated who you're getting at there. How good is CJG Johnny? It's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He's a good player. Got a bit of an attitude issue. Stomped on us on the way out the door last year. Overvalued himself last year. Came back for the original contract. Look, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is a good safety. Better than Kevin Byard at this point. Is he great? I don't know. Still want Justin Simmons here. Brought mine 2013 at the bottom of the market and refinanced in the 2020 before rates took off. Don't think I'll be testing this yet. Look, we got to buy a house. The markets suck. The rates have come down a smidge, not much. Rumors are they might go down again eventually, and we'll refinance then. But yeah, it's been a year of process of buying a house, finding one that we actually got an offer accepted on. It's crazy. Yeah, he was playing the Ouija board. It's not that funny, just so you know. After all the likes and congratulations from your social media post, keeping the house is the real war. Yeah. Marshall, do you follow me on social media? I gotta find out which one of my followers is Marshawn Lynch, because I don't see a Marshawn Lynch commenting on my post. Howie didn't select the best slot guy in JJ, but turn around and selected a slot guy anyways. Yeah. Make it make sense, Marshawn. I don't get that one. Yeah, Quez Watkins. Stop with his explosiveness and he's gonna be so good on Pittsburgh talk. Ridiculous. I was excited about getting a chance to get Jefferson, a DK, the other draft. Then I was like, screw this. Why do I try? Exactly. The current run of the Rock. Heel Rock. Versace Rock. The final boss Rock. Whatever the F you want to call what the Rock is doing now. Sucks. I know it's clickbait. I know it's a hot take. Whatever you want to call it, it is terrible. This is the worst incarnation of The Rock I have ever seen. And I am not afraid to say it. Like, it looks forced. It looks like he doesn't want to do it. Like, I think everyone's, he's enjoying it. No, I don't even think he wants to be heel Rock right now. This is a pivot. because of what the fans said. And honestly, there's a chance I might have to sell my WrestleMania tickets because my house settlement is the day after WrestleMania. Can't be out till 2 a.m. at WrestleMania, then be in a mortgage office at 8 a.m. or whatever time I'm doing that at. But man, like The Rock, I have zero interest in watching The Rock at WrestleMania. Like literally none. His promos, everybody, oh, these promos are awesome. They suck. They're terrible. Hot take, bold take on Train the AM today. It is literally the worst. Stupid. Can't stand it. Can't stand it at all. I got to write down some minutes here because I'm going to clip that out. I'm going to try to get The Rock to hear that. I'm going to clip out that Rock take and push it all over social media and see if I get The Rock to respond. Because that would be freaking amazing. Okay, Versace Rock, he is annoying. He is so annoying and stupid. Like, I don't get it. Like, I have no interest in Versace Rock whatsoever. Quez Watkins or Quez Watkins of Kenny Pickett or Kenny Pickett. I don't understand what you're saying there. Please repeat. Please refresh. It does look forced. It feels like a job to him to make. Exactly. Like, it looks so forced. It looks like he's literally reading from a script. Maybe years away from doing regular wrestling, he forgot how to ad-lib, and it just looks like he is literally. If there was actually less fans, or if this was like the empty stadium era of wrestling, I wouldn't be shocked if an image came out of someone holding up cue cards for The Rock. Forced and stupid. These promos are held together by exactly. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Terrible. 349ers select. Dude, stop. We need new NFL committee. I recommend Nitro 215 to be on the NFL committee. I do. You would make it not the no fun league. You would bring back the hard hits, maybe a few more concussions too. But I nominate you, Nitro. Why a mega movie star in wrestling? Stupid. Is he pushing UFL? Every time he's on the screen, he's probably pushing it. His new intro are left over CGI. Yeah. I do like that they changed the eyes of the bull from white to red now that he's a heel. I get that. That's cool little detail. But it's stupid. It's stupid. And he still does the goosebumps thing because deep down inside, he doesn't want to be a heel. He doesn't even want to be The Rock. He's Dwayne Johnson. And when he first turned heel a few weeks ago, The Rock, he had to go on another and make a separate video and say, guys, that was The Rock. That's my persona. Dwayne Johnson is still a cool guy. Like, seriously. I don't believe it. I don't like it. I am bored. I've watched less wrestling in the last 4 weeks than I have in the last 4 years. If you want to talk wrestling, we can talk that. Man. All I could say is, man, Ricochet. Man. He doesn't even do the people's eyebrow anymore. I don't think he can. I think he had a stroke or something. You ever notice like his eye is like his one eye like slopes down and he like looks like this all the time? Like I really think he I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, that's the term. And yes, he did. Because so many of his fans that have little kids were upset about the way he acted. And that's not Dwayne Johnson, who their kids look up. Get the F out of here. How did we get on this? Like, we've been talking football. I want to talk baseball. I want to talk a lot of things today. And somehow we got on The Rock. God damn. The Rock bores me. He's a boomer now. Who, I'm a boomer? Or The Rock's a boomer? I don't understand that one. I don't know who you're calling a boomer. We're going to do the reset here. 5 minutes early. I might end it 5 minutes early because I got to get to work today. Gentlemen. Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We are live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're watching. Hit those buttons, like, share, subscribe, retweet, depending on which platform you are watching on. Do that for me. And make sure you drop your comments. We are talking 10.5 wins for the Eagles, over or under, with the current situation. We are talking the hip drop tackle being banned officially and how stupid and bad for the game it is. Phillies, are they out of money? That is on the table. Shohei Ohtani spoke, and I believed 0% of what he said. And, of course, The Rock stinks is on the table now as well. Owners meeting. Nick Sirianni spoke at the start of the show. I'll go back and hear what Nick Sirianni had to say, and then we'll talk about that tomorrow. But I'm Phil Stiefel, your host. But yeah, make sure you like and share and subscribe and all those good things, guys. Lots happening with trending in the AM. Me, Phil Stiefel, personally and professionally. So make sure you're following along because there'll be more breaking news, not just me buying a house in the next week or so. So guys, make sure you're following along. There is some major breaking news coming in the next 2 weeks or so. Back to the comments. Bloodline is so annoying. Paul Heyman is the best character in that faction. I love the Bloodline. I acknowledge the Bloodline before The Rock joined. And now The Rock's there, and I hate it. For sure. Rock, you know the topic of the last 15 minutes. Oh, I'm hitting Rock up with this comment. I'm going to let him know. We're talking WWE. Yeah, I don't know why. Wrestling? No. I want to get back. I want to bring up, talk about The Rock, and every one of his promos sounds so scripted. Shohei Ohtani had a press conference to talk about what happened, and then 5 minutes later was out in the field having a catch, like a month after having Tommy John surgery, which is insane on another level. But Ohtani literally went to a podium, said, I'm not taking questions because, legal things are going on, and said, I had no clue that my interpreter and best friend stole $4.5 million from me. No clue. After like a few weeks ago or a week ago when the story broke, he personally paid it off. I believe Shohei Ohtani, 0%, and baseball and the world, everybody's investigating this, but baseball better step in and suspend the F out of this guy. Kick him out of baseball for life. I don't care. Make an example. Then there's another NBA player that is involved in some kind of prop betting scandal. I know some will say this is what happens when you get in bed with gambling sites as a professional sport, but I disagree. It is not the league's fault that these players are betting on sports. It happens. Isaiah Rodgers, a current Eagle, will be coming off of a suspension for betting. You are told day one what you're allowed and not allowed to do. These athletes choose to gamble. They should face the punishment for it. Let's nip this shit in the butt right now. Everybody that gambles, you're done. A year if it's another sport, lifetime ban if it's on your sport. Get them out. I don't blame the owners of these leagues and these teams for getting in bed with gambling sites. I know Mark would say the complete opposite, but no. The players that are getting caught and in trouble are grown-ass men. A, find a sneaky way around it better, which I'm sure there are ways, or B, find an interpreter that's going to take a fall for you. And if this guy stole $4.5 million from Ohtani, wouldn't he be in handcuffs right now? Like seriously, seriously. If somebody stole $4.5 million from you, wouldn't you press federal charges and have them arrested? Like, why is this guy walking around? Like, I can't comprehend that Ohtani's even telling 1% of the truth here. And it's not baseball's fault for being involved with betting. It is Ohtani's fault. It is the player's fault in all these situations. You have a choice. Make the bet or don't make the bet. Follow the rules set forth by the league that you signed a contract to play for, or don't, and face the consequences. I hate the narrative that it's the player's fault or it's the league's fault because they're advertising sports betting all over the stadium, commercials. What? No, it's a business decision. There's another rant. There have been quite a few good rants. I'm going to save that one. I think it was around 58, 59 minutes where I started. I really need someone to do clips for me. That's what, if I hired an intern, unpaid, of course, If you're a college kid, you know a college kid that's in this business that wants to intern for me free of charge, they can intern for me. They could do all my video editing and clipping because I think there could be a lot of great shorts and clips from this. Just today's show, but I don't have the time after work, after the show to do it at work. Paul Heyman over Solo's temper tantrum mean mug. Um, yeah, I'll train the AM. It's time for you to acknowledge me. I acknowledge you, Marshawn. I just wish I knew who you were on Twitter. Now I got to go into the house hunting post that you saw. I got to go look at who liked it. I'm going to try to find out who Marshawn is on Twitter. The recovery time, yeah. Oh, I mean, aside from Ohtani should be banned, he should have plenty of time to recover because he should be banned. On the flip side, the fact that he's having a catch so quickly after Tommy John surgery, would it shock you if he was pitching in the playoffs for the Dodgers? It wouldn't. You know what I mean? So it is crazy. Yakuza, get his money now. We hear you, Marshawn. We acknowledge you, Marshawn. The phrase is nip it in the bud, not butt. Get it together. I'm off my game today. I ain't going to lie. Slightly distracted from a house purchase. All right. A massive life decision. I got other massive life decisions coming in the next few weeks. Guys, not on my A game today. For some reason, putting the glasses on mid-show messed up my brain, too. I'm full of excuses today, okay? Training the AM equals the show of excuses. But seriously, like, I hate, and I know people don't like, some of you don't like talking baseball. I am not. No. Clip that out as many times. No. I am not. Never have, never will. Knock on wood. Just saying. It's not happening. All right? And don't even jinx that into existence, okay? 4 dogs are enough. No, don't start that rumor now at all. Side story. The person I'm buying the house from knocked his side piece up. That's why it's getting divorced. So that's why the house, I got it at such a great deal because he had to get rid of it for the divorce. Just saying. So that's a little side story. Don't make excuses. Rule number 32. Play like a champion. Yeah, no. I'm not playing like a champion this week. Not at all. No, stop with that. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. Don't even think that into existence. That would be the end of trending in the game, too. You know that, right? If I had a kid, I would actually have to take care of the kid and not do the show. I don't know why I got so fired up there about Shohei Ohtani. But I was thinking of Mark, who's been on this show plenty of times, was formerly like a regular co-host with me on this show. When he had a previous job and could do it more. He's so adamant about talking about how it's the league's fault for getting in bed with these gambling sites. And they're promoting it so the players just naturally do. No, it's not like DraftKings didn't exist before they started advertising in baseball or whatever. You know, FanDuel and DraftKings have been around for ages, maybe not legal across the board everywhere. Bookies have been taking bets for 100 years. Since as long as the mob has been around, there's been illegal gambling. A, be smarter about it and cheat better. Or B, just don't do it. It is not the league and it's not the team's fault. And thinking about how Mark would be responding to this is firing me up even more. You are a player. You are an employee. When you are an employee at a business, you are told the rules of the job and the company. You are told not to gamble. Follow the rules or face the consequences. It doesn't matter that there's a picture of DraftKings logo at the stadium you work at. That doesn't matter. That's advertising. Completely different than following the rules. That's right. Smash that like button. I'm assuming there's not enough likes on this video. I can almost guarantee there's not. There's only 1 like on Facebook. Am I even streaming on Facebook today? Not one person has even commented on Facebook today. There's 2 people on my personal YouTube page watching, 15 on the Sports Network page, 1 on the Facebook. Got like 130 watching on Twitter right now. I wish I need those $500 super chats. I got a mortgage to pay for now. You guys better up your super chat game. I might have to turn into one of those content creators that only put comments on the screen if you pay for it. I would never do that to you guys. I would never. But I might have to. I got a big mortgage to pay now. Is it against the rules to smoke marijuana cigarettes? I don't know if this is a legit question or not. I think basketball in the last year stopped testing for it. One of the major sports organizations in sports in the last year or so put out a rule change that they're not going to test for it. They're not saying it's legal, but they're saying they're not going to test for it anymore. And I forget what league it was, um, but they're not testing for it. So it might be sort of quasi legal for multiple leagues now. Um, and realistically speaking, it should just be legal across the entire country. I mean, if you want my honest opinion, there's no reason why it's not legal. Just saying. Yes. Yes. Um, NFL. Okay, so maybe it was the NFL and not NBA that just in the last year or so said they're no longer testing. For some reason, I thought it was the NBA, but it might be NFL. Maybe NBA and NFL have done that. Then, Duck, I would have to look into it. I don't care, but look, you get a job, you get a handbook, or you get told the rules at orientation, or when you go in to fill out your paper, you're told the do's and don'ts of a job. It doesn't matter where the advertising dollars are coming from. It doesn't matter what the bosses do. You follow the rules that you're told to follow. You choose that job. You choose that job. You got to follow the rules of the job you chose. You will voluntarily choose to take a job. You got to follow the rules. Rules are no betting. Don't do it. When marijuana was not legal in the NFL, you get caught doing it. That's your own damn fault. You get caught doing anything that's against the rules. It's your own damn fault. Break the rules better, or don't break the rules. And I hate that the bosses, in this case in baseball, MLB, the owners of the league and the teams, are the ones that are wrong, according to some people, because they put gambling front and center on advertisements. That's a business decision. I hate it. I hate it. I do. Yeah, I love this comment. I think Ricky Williams could have played like 5 more years in the NFL, but he'd rather go smoke pot than play and follow that rule. Same thing with Rob Van Dam for the wrestlers. Rob Van Dam won't go back to, he's too old to be a regular guy anymore. That's why he doesn't go back to WWE to have one-off appearances, because he can't pass a drug test. And they don't, yeah. I mean, stupid. Tanner, only a 6. Be gone. You're still doing some old draft. I don't know. Phil, you are right. It's NBA that no longer tests. NFL test once a year. Well, if you're only going to get tested once a year, then you can do it all the other times. I've never worked somewhere that drug tested regularly. I think a couple of the jobs I had a drug test to get the job, but after that, then no more drug testing. Obviously, at my pizza shop, I can't drug test. I wouldn't have a single employee. Where's Judd these days? I think Judd got a new job. Secretly, Judd was one of my employees, and he doesn't know I knew about it when Judlin or Judd or whatever you want to call him was commenting. Was one of my employees in disguise. He no longer works for me. He's working a day job, a morning job at a university now. That's why he's no longer part of the Core 12, I think. But I would have 0 employees. I would be fired from my own job if I drug tested. We'll just leave it at that. But, like, I just don't understand. If it's a rule, follow it. You choose to get a job, you follow the rules. RVD he does actually still look good occasionally on one-off appearances. I wouldn't want to see him on a wrestling program every single week. But from what I've heard, he can't remember his spots in the ring. He's done too much other stuff. So he really just kind of rolls with the punches in the ring. But yeah, he still looks pretty good for his age and the wear and tear on his body. Guy, for amount of risks he's taken, has stayed relatively healthy throughout his career in the wrestling business. But he can't pass drug test. My job is supposed to random blood test, but I've only heard of blood testing when there is an accident. Yeah, I get that. You know why they don't randomly do it? Because it costs money. But still, if you get caught, if your job today, Duck, decided, you know what, we're going to follow through and we're going to randomly test Duck, and you failed that test, no offense, this is not meant to be rude, but that's on you. Because you know there is a policy in place that random tests can be done. And if you fail that test, even if they haven't done it for 5 years, that is still a rule that you should realistically follow. And that would, no offense, be on you, not your bosses. Phil P.S. Dirty? Is that supposed to say Phil is dirty? I don't understand that one. You always put things in the comments I don't understand. Anyway, I don't believe a word of what Shohei Ohtani said. And off of the subject that it's not his fault, it's the league's fault. There is zero way you can believe this scenario. If anybody in this country stole $4.5 million from somebody and they would not be in handcuffs immediately, makes it very hard for me to imagine. Is Ohtani just not going to press charges against the guy that stole that money from him? Get the F out of here. The problem is you are coddling these players throughout their playing careers and have bent the rules so they have grown to believe that there are no consequences for breaking or bending. And I get that. I get that. Okay? That's why I want, and I've talked about this before in the past, that I've talked about it with the NFL, but all leagues, for all incidents, drug-related, domestic abuse, cheating, gambling, whatever, they need a firmer guideline of punishments. And they got to follow through with these punishments. And they've got to not, and the Ohtani situation is very, very prominent. Like, Ohtani's like the golden goose of baseball right now. He brings in so much money internationally and domestically. But international money that comes in because of Ohtani is immense. They're going to protect the hell out of Ohtani because they can't have a Pete Rose in 2024. They just can't do it. So they hide things and they make exceptions and they bend the rules for certain. No, everybody that does something wrong faces X suspension or punishment for X time 2, Y, whatever. You got firmer rules in place, and these rules, what you realistically got to do, your punishment and rules committee, or no, not your rules committee, your punishment and committee should be outside of the sport. The people that are in charge of suspensions and fines and stuff should not be directly, be involved with the sport. Like Roger Goodell shouldn't have all the say. Rob Manfred shouldn't have all the say. What if the cool kids want Tuck to? Yeah. Have we suspended a major league player in the last 5 years for betting? I don't think so. Lots of football players, a few basketball players, and a lot of football players. Baseball, I don't think it's been as prevalent, at least being caught. You still get the steroid and drug abuse suspensions in baseball. Oh, so weird, guys. Phil should do a live. What? No. Stop. No. No. Yeah, that's what I say. Like, my wife loves not hanging out, but working with all the young kids that work at a pizza shop, the high school seniors and stuff. It makes her feel young. Me, it just makes me feel old. Like, some people working with younger people, it makes them feel younger and cooler. But me, nah, just makes me feel old and beat up. And what I used to do pales in comparison to what these kids nowadays do. Isn't Ohtani's contract also backloaded massively? I think 680 of the 700 million is deferred till after the contract is over. I'm not worried. I'm sure he's making plenty of money. Plenty of money. Mitchie Poo holds up the censorship card while jumps up and down like vintage APK. Oh my god. I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. Damn, I fumbled that one. Help me out. No, sorry. It's okay. I got you. But none of these players were star and all-stars. They were all minor pieces. You got to think about who was the biggest name suspended in sports for gambling. The biggest names just have enough money to skirt the system. Just withdraw some cash and give it to a friend. Say, yo, go down the road and make the bet for me. Like, seriously, if you want to cheat, just find a easier. I'm no genius, but if I wanted to cheat a rule, I think I could come up with a easier way to do it. What's up, AC? What are your thoughts on Alexei Kolosov? If they can get the visas and paperwork done in time and get him over here, should he back up Ursan for the playoffs or get sent down to HC? HC is this like K1's like backup burner account? Because he always loves Flyers talk. Look, I am not comfortable with this team, period, going to the playoffs. They've constantly sent double messages to Flyers, because they're winning and they're in the playoff hunt. Well, they're in the playoffs right now, but yet they're still sellers. The Carter Hart thing definitely threw a wrench into their plans. And I don't think Ursan is ready to be the main guy, but I also think you kind of have to roll with him. Whether you got him over here as the backup or not, I don't think it makes a difference. Ursan's the Flyers goalie, isn't he? There's a question about the union. I don't know. Is it a union? No, it's Flyers talk, not union talk. Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know. K1, why don't you answer the question for him? I'm doing my best to spitfire my minimal Flyers knowledge of the day, but at this point, I'm not worried about it because the goal wasn't to win this year. The goal for the Flyers was to build for the future, to build for 2026. Getting the playoffs is massive. Getting the playoffs will give the young kids great experience. I'm not worried about it, though. Would it be faster for him to marry an American? What? I don't know what's going on in the comments now. We are Degeneration X. You make the rules. We all break them. Yeah, that's an HBK thing. Also, Ohtani. Okay. Like I'm trying here. This has been one of those days. I'm not on my A game. I'm trying. I've had more passionate rants not on my A game today. So maybe I shouldn't be on my A game because passionate rants, I hope I find time today to clip out around the 48-minute mark something on The Rock. And I hope at 58 minutes a part of, my my Ohtani rant at the 58-minute mark. Somebody's free today and wants to make me some short videos. Hit me up after the show and clip me out a less than 60-second rock rant and a 58-minute rant on Ohtani. I would love it. I would love it. You'd be my best friend. Honorary captain of the Core 12 if you made me some short videos today. Honorary moderator for a day if you made me a couple short clips for a day. Does Cody finish the story, though? Honestly, if The Rock wasn't involved, I'd be rooting for Roman Reigns. But since The Rock's involved, I hope The Rock gets involved and The Rock can go away and Roman Reigns can go away for 6 months to a year until they have their one-on-one match. Honestly, I could care less if Cody finishes the story. Like, honestly, I don't even buy Cody Rhodes as a main eventer. I don't buy Cody Rhodes as the face of the company. So, Trending the AM, what do you want to talk about today? And he doesn't talk about what they want to talk about. He talks about what he wants to talk about. I don't buy Cody Rhodes as a main event. I do need to put the glasses on pre-stream. I'm not sure what happened putting them on midstream, but it gave me an instant pain and headache, from trying to readjust to the screen and the light. Maybe because I got my light on, my extra light on in here today. Maybe that's reflected, and I'm not sure. Phil is on his Tobias Harris game today. Dude, I've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows on this stream today. We're an hour and 20 minutes into the stream. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Phil giving the team 2 points today. 1 for 16 shooting today. No, I made two layups today because I had two really good rants today. I used to smoke weed in my early 20s. Used to get it from Allegheny Ave, and they had jars of hydro. Yeah. Ohtani situation is everyone is looking the other way. We all know it. It is. This is going to be like the, we knew McGuire and Sosa were on roids. Who's that dude from Baltimore? Brian Anderson hit 53 home runs randomly one year. We all knew it. We looked the other way. We're going to all look the other way while Ohtani makes a miraculous miracle recovery from Tommy John. And then 5, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, it's going to come out the real details. Just say it. It's Cody time. I could care less. Can't have Cody say too many words with the letters in it. I see what you're saying there. You're trying to make a joke. Cody crybabies? There are. The Cody crybabies are why I hate The Rock right now. Honestly, if they would have just had anybody else win the Royal Rumble and challenge Seth Rollins, you could have had The Rock come out, confront Roman Reigns. This would have been a perfectly fine story. But they had to force us another Cody Rhodes win. And then he had to come out and hand his title opportunity over to The Rock and go. It didn't make no sense. It's stupid. Stupid writing, stupid storytelling. Is Ayuk getting traded? Is he? I don't know. I like Brandon Ayuk from the 49ers. I think he's a good football player. I think in a certain type of offense, someone like Kansas City should be all over that. But Brandon Ayuk with Patrick Mahomes, congratulations. Having another baby, it seems like. I don't have to buy weed. I live in a row house, and the 2 houses around me smoke hard, and it comes to yeah. Cody is a try-hard mid-carder at best. Seth Rollins is much more of a main eventer than Cody Rhodes. Second-hand high is for sure. Ever been to a Dave Matthews concert? Seriously. When is CM Punk coming back? He's going to be on commentary for WrestleMania. His promo last night, now that was good. There's a main eventer. Thoughts on tackling being taken out of the NFL football? We spent like the first 30 minutes of the show, HC, talking about this. The hip drop tackle banning is so awful. It's so stupid. You literally can't tackle anymore. Because again, if you go, there's a video from the owners' meetings from yesterday of somebody sharing out the video the NFL played for the owners and GMs and coaches on why the hip drop tackle is being banned. And at least half of the clips that they showed in that video were a safe tackle that the ball carrier tried to shake off, and then their momentum of trying to break free of the tackle took the defender down to the hips into a hip tackle position. So basically what they're saying to defenders now, if you don't make the tackle on instant contact, just let go. It's like, just do it. Because that's the only way you can do it. I don't believe Ohtani, but I respect that he's so good he can pull. Yeah, that's true. He's like, I got $700 million in the bank. I don't care. I'm good. I know you can't suspend me. I know. I'm the face of this company. I'm the face that runs this place. I bring in the biggest money. I'm the richest athlete of all time, or the highest paid athlete of all time. I like the master of the strong style is criminally being misused. Almost bad as they, yeah. Dude, I'll tell you, I'm not hot on wrestling right now. But, man, that Bray Wyatt documentary, man, I guarantee when I watch that, I will tear up at a minimum 2 or 3 times. The previews of it, the trailer for the Bray Wyatt documentary has made me tear up. So sad. So sad. Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit came out of retirement when Stop. I haven't smoked weed. I don't smoke. I can't smoke anything. Got a lot of breathing issues, a lot of weak lungs, which I don't know how I'm able to talk for 90 minutes without puffing on my inhaler, but I do. But doesn't mean I don't partake in a little bit from time to time, just not the smoking form of it. This is hardest time to get content. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It is hard. This is like a dead couple weeks in between the start of free agency and the draft where there's nothing going. There's no baseball. Basketball's dead. There's nothing going on. I'm putting out content. I'm doing my best for you guys. I love a stogie like 2 fingers with 2 fingers of scotch, and I'm sleep like a baby. Yeah, look, I love a good cigar. I just can't smoke them anymore. I used to be a big the Aston Monarch. That was my go-to cigar right there. Perfect cigar for that $12 cigar price point. I always like to spend between $10 and $15 for the Aston Monarch. That was my go-to. Perfect little gentleman jack, sit out by a fire pit, sit in a hot tub. Perfect, relaxing evening. I just can't do it anymore. My lungs just can't handle it. Weed equals tinnitus. I don't know. Anyway. All right, we got to start the wrap up process here. I was going to be done by this point of the show, but here we are. Look, bring it all to the table again tomorrow. All these things are going to be on the conversation tomorrow. Nick Sirianni, whatever he says today or said today, we'll discuss it. Any other breaking news, I'm sure. I kind of feel like the Ohtani and the hip drop tackle and the Rock and baseball all have to stay on the agenda. Phillies will be on the agenda more and more this week. Thursday, guys, you're going to try to change the conversation. But I'm going to stick to my points on baseball on Thursday. There's going to be a lot of baseball talk on Thursday. A lot. All my Phillies projections on Thursday. The thumbnail will have Bryce Harper on it, not a Philadelphia Eagle. It'll be all red, this screen, on Thursday. I'm just warning you guys. Nothing going on. Meanwhile, the Flyers are in second place. They were in third place last time I checked, like a week or two ago. Maybe they're in second now. Since when? Since when what? Anyway, guys, we got to start the round. They might get passed by the Caps for third. Yeah, I thought the Flyers had fallen to third the last I looked, like last week. Because even though I don't talk Flyers regularly, I still watch them. I still pay a little bit of attention. They're just the bottom of my importance meter right now. And now with buying a house in a week and a half, I just dropped my pen. I don't have any time left. I didn't have to look. I hope that you guys don't put fake information. I don't fact check mid-show. Anyway, guys, we got to wrap this up. Training the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. I am Phil Stiefel. Like, share, subscribe, retweet. Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, gambling, hip drop tackles, the Rock Sox, and finally, for the final 2 minutes of the show, again, thoughts, positive vibes, prayers, and everything in between to the people of Baltimore. The Key Bridge, if you guys didn't see, bridge on 695 was hit by a cargo ship around 3 a.m. and the entire bridge and everybody on the bridge collapsed into the ocean. Luckily, it was at 3 a.m. and there's very little traffic. I don't know about a death toll yet. I've heard rumors of 10 to 20 cars and people fell into the river there. If you haven't seen the video, if you have a weak stomach, don't watch it because it's scary as hell. And I'm always paranoid about bridges and tunnels and stuff. I've watched too many movies and TV shows in my lifetime. And I have a very big anxiety issue to begin with. Man, I still can't comprehend what happened there in Baltimore this morning. Humble brag. Yeah, I know. Sorry. If you haven't seen it, Duck, I mean, it's all over. When I first saw it, I saw it on a site that I thought was a spam site. So I instantly went to my phone and Googled it, and every news site was reading it, reporting it. I've been on that bridge many of times, and I just can't comprehend the fear if you were driving across that bridge when that happened, and all of a sudden everything just starts collapsing instantaneously in front of you. Scary, scary, scary situation, but positive vibes, positive thoughts that almost everybody, gets out of there okay. Say you cannot see a damn bridge right in front of you. So it's way too early to formulate any facts out of it. But if you watch the video, you can see it looks like the ship is dark, and it looks like early reports that it had lost power. The ship, now they haven't said why, but it lost power, and right before impact, they regained power. It looks like the ship tried to turn at the last second and just couldn't turn quick enough. But it looks like the ship had lost power. Cargo ship kept losing power and lost control and slammed into. Yeah, that's the story right now. Far too soon to make any assumptions on the story. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there that are trashing this. People talking about their commutes being longer now. Look, bridge just collapsed. There's a lot of potential deaths and casualties in this. Um, it's just a sad, scary, scary situation. Um, I just saw a picture of bridge collapse. Yeah. Well, if you watch, there's a video of it because there are port cameras that caught it on film, and you actually see the whole entire bridge just, and it's just, it's scary. It's scary. A little bit of a section of the bridge did land on the cargo ship. Um, See people making jokes that their Timu shipment's going to be delayed now. Like seriously, you can't make jokes about this stuff, people. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. Let's close the show. Some positive vibes, thoughts, prayers, whatever you do as a person, send it to the people in that area that could have been affected by this. The people that may have lost their lives or been injured or whatnot. I do know a few people have been rescued from the water from early reports. But guys, we're going to wrap Trend in the AM up right there. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. as always. More Eagles talk, more Phillies talk, doubtfully Sixers talk. We'll see. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And as always, go Birds.